Hello, it's Kirsty and welcome to First Melodies, your first steps into music, melodies and making memories. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about and show you a few examples of what we would typically do in a first singing lesson with a new student. So to start with, like our guitar and ukulele sessions, you will have a show around, come and get to know me. It will only involve talking, getting to find out what kind of music you're into, your goals and your dreams in the music industry or as a singer, and also get to know mum and dad or whoever else would like to come along to the show around and just feel comfortable, get to know the environment and what we may offer and our terms, policies, things like that. And then you get your first lesson for free, which means you don't have to make any commitments until after that, or depending on the agreement, depending on individual needs and wants. So yes, in a typical first lesson, there is no pressure to come in here and sing me a song straight away, because unlike guitar and ukulele, you can't hide behind an instrument. We can't even see our instruments. So it's kind of a hard and a vulnerable thing for a child to come into an environment where they don't really know somebody and to sing them a song. They're probably going to be feeling really shy. Not everybody will. If you want to sing me a song, you go ahead and serenade me. I would absolutely love that. But if you're not feeling like that, don't worry, there is no pressure. We'll just build confidence in each other, because all of us are not perfect and our singing lessons are about finding our uniqueness, which is one of the reasons why I don't do grades. Even though they may be important in some jobs, it's not important right away, and I just want a child to come to me, or a teenager to come to me and just enjoy what they're doing, have fun with it with no pressures. They can learn in their own time and just really enjoy the art of singing and singing songs that they choose to sing. So on your first lesson, if we're not going to be singing as such, then what are we going to do? Well, the first thing I like to do is maybe tell you a little bit about your voice using elastic bands to help you understand where it is and where it comes from. Won't bore you too long with that, but we get right into breathing. Now with breathing, I can show you with balloons, which is a great method to understand how you fill your belly with air, how you can use your diaphragm. It might involve some lying on the floor and special techniques, but it doesn't involve anything really vocal, so it's a good kind of first icebreaker before making anybody sing and feel uncomfortable in my environment. So breathing is always the first thing we do. Another breathing exercise is after we've learned a few techniques. I can get my little timer and I can press start, and then we will see how long you can go for or for. Again, it's a great first icebreaker. You can pause the video, find a timer and see how long you can take a deep breath and go for. Again, if you come to my First Melody lessons, singing lessons, you will learn the best techniques to get longer times, and then every lesson we can see if we can beat our times. It's like a little challenge. Awesome. So after breathing techniques, and if the child's feeling a little bit more confident, we will move on to warm-ups. Now the good thing about breathing is it relaxes us and it gets rid of any anxiety. So we would always go back to breathing if a child is feeling a little bit anxious. So no worries about that. Slow and steady pace until they feel confident enough to sing or be a little bit open around me. And this can take a few sessions. Doesn't always happen on the first session. So after breathing, we will move on to warm-ups, and this may involve games, because games are always great icebreakers and I have unique methods to work around that. But it also can involve something like picking a sound that they like a la or an oo or an ah or a e or anything that they feel comfortable with, or even a hum. And we can do some scales with that. So say the child has picked the sound la. We're going to start with the middle C, and we're just going to see if they can hear the sound. So la, 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 la. If they're able to guide their vocals in that. Or are they able to hear sounds? So are they able to decide, is number 1 higher or number 2 higher in notes? So in this case, number 2 is higher, and that's going to determine if you are able to sing or not. If you can hear if a sound is higher or lower, then you're not tone deaf and you most definitely can learn to sing, although everybody has a unique time limit to when they can learn a certain thing or not. So just remember patience. So yeah, scales, have a go, try now. La. We'll try a couple of times. La. And again. La. Or la 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 la. There we go. So that's gonna be testing what we've learnt on our breathing, finding our voice, and just I can see what kind of tone you have and what kind of range you have just by doing something as simple as that. We also may learn how to stand as a singer, which might break the ice in between warm-ups. Maybe how to open our mouths, how to position our tongues, our jaws, all that stuff. Maybe that might be a bit too much the first lesson, but the first couple of lessons we will introduce all of that. My favourite thing to do is tongue twisters because the children know a little bit about these from school and from probably online these days. So we'll do something easy like Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear, Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair, and Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't fuzzy, was he? Try it. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear, Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair, and Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't fuzzy, was he? Something like that. Also, it gets us in like the range of middle C to sing our voice in that. But then we could do a more complicated one like Luke luck like lakes, Luke duck like lakes, Luke luck leaks lakes, Luke duck leaks lakes. Then it gets a bit harder. So it'll all be about doing it really slowly, and then as we go on lessons we can build up the pace, and soon you'll be doing it really, really fast. These are really important for learning diction and our vowels and how we pronounce words whilst we're singing. It's just a great technique to get all of our mouths moving. My favourite one to do is pretend you've got a bit of toffee, put it in your mouth and chew away, because most of the time the children just laugh and they get really embarrassed, but then they really go for it. Yeah, yummy bit of toffee, or whatever their favourite sweet is, that is, or whatever their favourite food is, something chewy. Role play is great for singing because it also brings out expressions in your faces, which is exactly what we need to get the emotion of a song. One of my favourite warm-ups that also help with your breathing is pretend to be a gorilla. So, but I really like monkeys, so it'd be like or we've got like the buzzy bee. Or humming is a great warm-up. Or if we're still a bit shy to do those kind of warm-ups, I always advise that when you come to a First Melodies singing lesson to get one of these vocal straws, because it actually allows you to warm up your voice in a more quieter way. So you can do all your humming and your lahs and your oohs through this straw into a little bit of water. You blow into the water and it's just going to help relax everything and do lots of other things which I can tell you all about when you come. But it's like when your mum tells you off for blowing it in a straw and making a big mess with your water. Well, here at First Melodies, without making the mess, you're allowed to do it because it's really good for your voice. So yes, if you want to be a singer, you're allowed to do this with your straws because you can say, I'm warming up my vocals, mummy and daddy. Another thing we may do is just focus on one note, say the middle C. Because the middle C is in every kind of vocal range. You should be able to do this with, we determine you're a bass, a baritone, a tenor, an alto, a mezzo-soprano or a soprano. Because the middle C is in each and every one of those. So middle C is a good place to start. So we may do one note like, maybe a bit quiet, but we want to try and make that a bit louder. So we're going to push our voices. We're going to make it a bit louder as you go. Just to see how loud we can go without damaging any vocal which is in that range. Have a go. Now what that means. Ready? 1, 2, 3. just play one chord for you, so like that, ready, go. But do it slower. So 1, 2, 3. Your turn. 1, 2, 3. Good job! So that is some of the examples of what we would do in a typical first singing lesson. And then once you've picked your favourite songs, so long as they're age appropriate, we can start learning and working on songs using these techniques and more. Maybe finding our chest voice and our head voice to help us expand our range and more. And yeah, we'll just have fun. I do also have a CD player which I can play beats to, so we can do some rhythm exercises with beats. We can probably sing all of our tongue twisters alongside the beats. We can do some of our warm-ups alongside the beats, and it just gets our voice in a rhythm, just like you would if you were playing a guitar, if you were learning to dance, playing the ukulele, etc, etc. Our voice needs to build all that ability up too. So I hope that helps you a little bit into what you would typically do in a fast singing lesson here at First Melodies. But remember, you're all unique children and you're all unique people, and we just want to devise a plan in your lessons so that it suits you and works at your pace and abilities. And I hope that I see you one day for a lesson, because I'm really looking forward to hearing all of your amazing voices and working with you to expand them, so one day you can follow your dreams and reach your goals. If you are considering bringing your child to a First Melodies singing lesson, age is considerable. So I do take on students from 5 years old, but if I do take on a child from 5 years old, they need to be motivated to sing. They need to be able to focus for at least 30 minutes or more on the task of singing, and also want to practice at home and have a passion and love for it. They also need to be a little bit patient, because sometimes techniques won't work first time, and singing is a long process to really find your voice. So just patience and understanding that sometimes I may tell you that something's not quite right and we need to work on that part, and I can show you how we work on different techniques to improve that part of a song or that part of your voice. So ideally 7 is a good age to start singing lessons, but if you have a mature 5-year-old who's ready for all of this, then I would never turn them away, because at First Melodies my lessons are not about making them sound like their favourite pop star and sounding like an adult. The thing about singing as a child is all of your larynx and your voice and everything else is still developing, and when you hit puberty it's all going to go downhill, and you're going to have to learn to then use your voice in different ways again. So First Melodies sessions are unique, and they're about just finding your voice, learning right techniques so you can deal with your voice maturing in the future, just having fun with it and really learning it, so when your voice does mature enough you can sing in a really good manner and you know exactly the right techniques to keep your voice healthy. So you're going to learn lots, but you're going to be finding your unique voice, and you will be sounding still like a child, because that is the healthiest thing for a singing teacher to do for a child. So we can have fun, but we're going to do it in a healthy and safe way. Should you bring a 5-year-old or a 7-year-old to singing lessons? Absolutely, if it's something they really want to learn and love, because I always say a child's going to sing anyway, so you might as well bring them to singing lessons so they can learn safe and the right techniques in doing it, rather than just letting them get on and sing on their own and possibly damaging their voice. So if they really have a passion for it and they're mature enough to want to sit down and learn about it, most definitely bring them to a singing lesson at First Melodies. Anyway, have the best rest of the day, week, year, and I might see you at First Melodies lesson real soon. Bye for now, and thank you. Here from First Melodies, your first steps into music, melodies and making memories. Bye!
First Melodies, welcome